Officials saying Robinson's father recognized him as the person of interest and told his son to turn himself in. They say Robinson refused at first, but later changed his mind and was arrested with the help of the family's youth pastor, who is also a U.S. Marshals Task Force officer. It all happened in St. George, Utah, about 260 miles from where Kirk was killed. Authorities say Robinson was perched on a rooftop more than 100 yards from Kirk when he fired that single shot at the conservative activist as he was speaking on the campus of Utah Valley University. They say family members describe Robinson as becoming more political in recent years and had talked with his family about not liking Kirk's views. 31-year-old Kirk had become a major figure in the conservative youth movement and was even known as the Trump whisperer. The president and the governor of Utah reacting to Robinson's arrest this morning.
We have him
right
in
now.
Custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days.
I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history, yes. The question is what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history?
Our Jacqueline Lee has the latest for us now from Orem, Utah.
We got him.
A suspect in the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is in custody. Investigators announcing the arrest this morning.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Tyler Robinson is a 22-year-old from Utah. Law enforcement are reviewing these posts on Facebook in connection with the investigation. This update coming just hours after investigators released images and additional video of a suspect jumping from a rooftop of a building after the shooting and running into the woods. Law enforcement sources saying after recognizing his son as the person of interest, Robinson's father called a youth pastor who was also a U.S. Marshal Task Force officer, who then had marshals take him into custody. One family member telling investigators he had become more political in recent years.
The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
31-year-old Kirk was hosting an event on Utah Valley University's campus Wednesday when a single shot was fired, hitting and killing the activist. Police say they found a rifle in the woods nearby. Investigators speaking to a roommate who pointed them to messages from Robinson.
The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point.
President Trump saying this today on Fox News.
In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old Utah local, confessed Friday morning to fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk, officials said. Robinson was turned in after his father recognized him in photos released by the FBI, and his son admitted he was the gunman. Robinson's father asked him to turn himself in, but his son replied that he would rather kill himself. The father then convinced his son to speak with their youth minister, who called the FBI, and agents later took Robinson into custody. Only about 2 months earlier in July, Robinson's father painted a much different picture of family life with his son on social media, where he posted a video reel showing highlights from their Mexico trip together, in which Tyler was pictured happily showing off a fish he caught. Another video going viral reveals another proud moment for Tyler, this time in a video posted by his mother, in which he announces he had received a college scholarship.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
In a statement, Utah State University, which is a different school from where the shooting took place, confirmed the suspect had briefly attended the university for 1 semester in 2021. Other pictures of the suspected killer that have emerged also feel almost chillingly normal, sharing a meal with his dad, grinning while riding in what appears to be a small plane, and seemingly enjoying a happy family life. The only photos which really stand out include one in which he appears to be dressed for Halloween in a Trump costume, and a number of others that point to an interest in various types of weapons. But how this young man went from this to this still remains a mystery.
Breaking news, y'all. After just a few days of speculation, chaos, and nonstop conversation across the country, the man responsible for the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk has officially been captured. Authorities confirmed that today the shooter was taken into custody without incident. For the past few days, he had been on the run, slipping through the cracks. But the manhunt is finally over. And here's the twist. According to multiple reports, it was actually his own father who convinced him to turn himself in. Think about that for a second. His dad is the one who told him, "It's over. Go face the consequences." And eventually, that's exactly what he did. Now, let's be clear. This isn't just another arrest. This is closure for millions of Americans who've been demanding answers ever since Kirk was gunned down in front of the world. Love him or hate him, Charlie Kirk's killing shook the political world to its core. His supporters saw him as a fighter, someone who wouldn't back down. His critics, well, you already know how they felt. But at the end of the day, nobody expected it to come to this. The suspect is now facing multiple charges, including murder. Prosecutors are already signaling that they'll push for the maximum penalty. Sources close to the investigation say the evidence against him is overwhelming. Surveillance footage, witness testimony, and even ballistics that tie him directly to the crime. This capture marks a turning point. For days, people were worried about whether justice would ever be served. Now, the conversation shifts to accountability and consequences. Will the trial bring the closure people are looking for? Or will it ignite even more division in an already fractured nation? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. The political fallout, the court battles, the public reactions, all of that is coming. And you already know I'll be here covering every step of it. But tonight, the headline is simple. Charlie Kirk's killer has been captured. Justice is finally on the way. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this arrest brings real closure, or is it just the beginning of a bigger storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. And hey, if you found this update helpful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next big update. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss what comes next.